Alright, we should be back in daily run. Changing the category. There we go. Alright. Alright, so I guess, yeah, we'll listen to Odd Fire Podcast, I guess. Might as well, I guess. Wait, why did I just get a Twitch notification? Oh, for my fucking dashboard. Cool.
Insight from the points of view of the fan, the player, and the producer. All right, let's get into this. It's the finale. It's our 46th season of Survivor. Finale nights are so fun. It's 3 hours. You get the 2-hour finale. Usually it's like 2.5 hours. And then you get a little bit of the after show.
Jeff tricked
And then
people
you get the
into
popcorn out and
believing
everything.
that Ben
Dino,
would
you
vote
experienced
for
this when you were a
Kenzie.
player.
Yeah,
Before we even get into the show, D, what is it like for a player tonight? What were those final three going through when they were watching at home?
Unreal. Obviously, they know what happened, but to
fucking
watch yourself
Yara.
back, it's honestly a gift. It's a gift that not many people get in life.
All right, so tonight, here's what we'll do. Let's talk through some of the highlights because I thought this finale was so fun.
Amazing.
And then we have the first interviews. We're going to talk momentarily to Ben and Charlie and Kenzie and get the whole story of what went down at that final tribal because I think a lot of people are going to be talking about that vote and how it could have gone one way or the other. So, Jay, let's dive in and talk about the highlights.
Yeah, I'm not going to let us get away with not going through my own little personal rites of passage here, Jeff. I know in a previous episode you said you hated it, but what a wild ride Survivor 46 was.
Give it to us, Jay.
Yanu began this season with the legendary words. I thought several meant 7. Jeff, shout out to Jelinski. Never say die. Then Yanu became the most losing tribe of all time. We've never seen a tribe go 11 straight days without flint, no fire. Randon got medevac with an idle advantage, saving Yanu from tribal, possibly altering the entire game. Banu took us on a spiritual and
Yes,
emotional journey.
what a great moment. Randon getting medevac with an idol is.
Very quick fall of the mob boss in Q. We saw 4 straight tribal council blindsides where the players at home had an idol in their pocket. 4 of them: Hunter, Tip, Venus, Q, and finally we crowned the magnificent winner.
Actually, well, I should mention this also. Like, obviously, there's a lot of talk about this on this season about how great it is that, oh my god, we got 4 people in a row getting taken out with idols in their pockets. Like, that's not that interesting to me. It's like, I mean, I guess it's like a cool little like note on the season for sure. But I'm also like, I would rather see these people play their fucking idols than get taken out with idols in their pockets. It's like that's not as interesting of a thing to me to see people getting blindsided with idols in their pockets all the time. It just feels like wasted potential at that point. But anyway.
And Kenzie, well done. So, Jeff, what moments of this?
This gives a higher chance of returning than half a cast. I would
maybe.
maybe.
But I think it's, ultimately 5 idols in pockets. If you look at the whole season, that's a record that may never be broken in a 26-day season because it was just unbelievable. And even for me, sitting there watching it time after time. But I think overall, Survivor 46 will have a big impact on Survivor moving forward, specifically due to the combination of blindsides and idols. I think it's going to move the bar in terms of how aggressively you have to play in this game. And we could see it as early as this season when it comes to the idols. You know, questions like, will a player be more aggressive in terms of playing it, maybe even if they're not sure they need to? Is there a reevaluation of even wanting an idol?
And that'll probably
see
be
somebody
true.
put a beware advantage away and say, I just don't even want the target. So I think that's going to be some of the questions that this season brings up.
D1 moment for you that encapsulates the season. What do you think?
Well,
What?
I want to take it back to the very beginning in the first episode when Jeff, you mentioned that no matter what, some of them will never be able to win. And with this season in particular, every single person who got their torch snuffed shows us why that is. And by the way, I don't mean this in a negative way. I just think we can pinpoint exactly the moment they made a mistake that led to the vote out. And I don't remember another season where I can seriously recall this. And that just tells you that season 46 is a mix of chaos, unpredictability.
I agree with him
in
in the.
people
Okay,
were not afraid to speak their mind.
pause this real quick. Yeah, I agree with him in the sense that I think idols in particular, like how idols are looked at in like in 47 and probably 40 as well. I think that'll definitely be a thing where I think people will be scared to now go out with idols in their pockets. Oh, fuck off. Okay, well, great. I have no ammo, or maybe I do. Okay, I guess it wasn't loaded. D better than Devon's? I would say no. What? What? I didn't even have my... Okay, well, fuck me. I didn't even have my fucking finger on the trigger. How the fuck did it shoot? Oh, wow, I literally have nothing. Okay, wait. Actually, I'll start the podcast up again. But what the fuck? Bears better than D? No.
Let's get inside this final episode. I know we have introduced the final 3, so we'll not be able to do this justice, but there are a few things I have to bring up, starting with Maria coming back to the beach and suddenly realizing, well, it's win or go home.
Yeah.
So when we went to the challenge of Final 5, there was a massive twist that was revealed on the puzzle. You had to run back down the platform through the obstacles to get
what
one
a
last
twist.
so that you could answer the combination block. Jeff, talk to us about taking the puzzle to a whole new level with this twist.
Well, sticking with the how and the why, all credit goes to John Kerhofer, Christopher Marchand, Justin Banta that joined our team for that season. That is their job, is to look for ways to elevate the show in their department. And I think what this really is a tiny twist,
Fuck
but it
off.
illustrates our minds, is that new ideas don't have to be huge in terms of scope.
Oh my
They have to be
god,
revolutionary in
dude.
terms of their intention.
Okay,
They just
whatever,
have to
that was
shift
terrible.
What was to what is. This is how a Survivor puzzle used to work. You collect pieces, you solve it. This is how our new Survivor puzzle works.
Didn't they do this before?
Let's use the clue.
Like, I'm pretty confident they've done this before, right? That you solve a puzzle and then it tells you to, like, go count something. Like, I'm pretty sure this isn't a unique thing. Oh my god, dude, what the this is, like, abysmal. I have less than 1,000 on a grounded encounter. That's pathetic. But whatever.
In your puzzle that you just solved to solve another puzzle, because of that you're gonna have to run back down through the course. So you see how that leads, but it was one tiny little adjustment. What you can't imagine is what the players will.
Yeah, I already talked about the Liz helping Kenzie. I agree with Liz being able to go back and count the holes. I don't agree with her being able to bring back the entire plank. I think the ruling should be that they're like other players are allowed to help you as long as they don't physically touch like your part of the challenge. Yeah, Tyson. Oh, that's what it was. The final immunities, right? There was final immunities where, yeah, the puzzle. Um, yeah, it'd be like the puzzle, and then it tells you to count. Then they would have to slide back down. Okay, yeah, I remember that now.
Do with it. Nobody saw this thing with Liz and Kenzie happening. And if you're Maria, how frustrating to look over and realize I can't stop them. It is 2 against 1. The only thing Maria can do is put a loop of that moment on all her television screens in her home, because on Survivor, that is the highest level of respect. We together will do whatever it takes to make sure you don't win this challenge. And they did, and she didn't.
As Jeff just said, it took Liz's help to beat Maria to take her down. And I think Maria handled it with a ton of grace. Me personally, I was screaming at the TV. I'd have been pissed. Can you forgive getting teamed up like that?
Absolutely not. I'll forgive you post game, but my blood was boiling when I saw that, because I'd be pretty pissed too. But I do want to give props to Liz here for a second, because one, she's putting her game on the line, and two, she's actively taking control in that moment, and the amount of guts that it takes in that moment to decide, I'm going to help another player. It's not that.
Clearly didn't bug Maria that much for the cheater. I mean, yeah. I think for Maria, I think she respected it, is the sense I got. So you could tell, like, after the fact that she kind of, like, credited Kenzie with, like, getting her out with that. Yeah.
Especially when you're in the middle of a challenge, because I'm sure going into the challenge she was like, I'm gonna help Kenzie win. That's not how it works, right? So we make our own rules as players, and that's what makes it so fascinating, how anything is possible out there. But yeah, for sure there was a tiny part inside that was so big that I actually help, but again, I would be super pissed.
Well, it did end up sending Maria home, and I thought she played an amazing game. Jeff, do you have any last thoughts on Maria as she headed to the jury?
I'm with you. She's a phenomenal player. I thought Maria was interesting in the sense that, for the most part, she kept her emotions very contained, and I think that's rare for somebody who lasts that long. And her approach to strategy was always very well thought out. She was, to me, like a Survivor assassin strategist, where she would decide on her target. She would assess the target, then consider the best way to take that target out, and then put the best plan into action. So her ego was secondary to the mission. That's an amazing skill. As I said, phenomenal Survivor player, and even saying it that way, I think probably still underrated. D, what's your take?
I laughed when you said Survivor assassin, because
doesn't scream out to me as like Maria's coming back. Like, it's obviously praise from him, but I don't get the sense that that's like, oh my god, we need to see like Maria back on Survivor again. Like, especially like in comparison to like when he talks about Q, like in comparison to that, like again with this, it seems like he recognizes that Maria is a very like good player and like praises like her skills for the game. I don't get the sense that he's talking about like Maria is a like an entertaining person that we need back on TV. But anyway,
here's an assassin. Watching her as a fan and having played, so both when you mix them, she would be very hard to read out there, and I think that makes her a great player.
All right, I got to talk about the next challenge that happened, which was the Final Four challenge. You've got these balls that you have to catch, but now you have to throw them at the world's most difficult game and not let them drop through this very slow ball return.
Yeah.
Jeff, I want to ask, what made you decide to bring this challenge back here as the most decisive challenge of the season?
Well, whenever we get to the end, Final 5 and the Final 4, we always give a lot of thought. Which challenge should we put in? You know, we do Submotion a lot. We don't want to always do Submotion, but we try to make
what? They don't always want to do
a challenge that will
Submotion?
give you absolute turning points and drama. So same thing, all credit goes to the challenge department, but the Plinko challenge was born out of a desire to have a physical player-controlled ticking clock within a challenge. So that time management would become the theme, and that led to the question, how do you force a player to split their focus so that they're distracted? And that the thing that's distracting them was the ticking clock, but they're responsible for the ticking clock. We actually did a version of this back in season 21, then we did a version of Survivor 33.
Actually, we mentioned it.
So then we combined them into this new version, and we tested them a lot. I remember Kerhopper telling me how many times they
First,
tested
remember
to get
that.
the right number of blocks so that the ball would kick around as it was coming down, and then to make sure that that last part where the ball slowly makes its way to finish, so that even now as you're listening to me, you're saying, please hurry up. That's what the player was feeling. Please hurry up. Well, to get it where it wasn't level, so it would move down, but it wasn't down so fast that it would...
Does he care about character entertainment? I think he does. Like, and especially like when it comes to like how, because like the thing was like the way he talked about Maria is not like, oh, this makes her like a fun player to see like play the game. Because like again, he's talking about like, I see her as an assassin, and it's like that's not like praise from like when he talks about Q, he talks about like how like complex of like a player he is and that sort of thing. Or like I feel like okay, that's fucking bullshit. Like this just felt like him like essentially like recognizing how effective she's in the game, but not really like, okay, fuck me, dude. Okay, well, this is terrible. Oh, fuck off. But it doesn't feel like, I don't know, like him like dying to see her back. Would Q do well on Australian Survivor? Would Q do well in any Survivor? I don't know. Maybe better in the US, actually.
Race now, that's what took all the time, and I think our challenge and art department did a great job because it was excruciating to watch that ball go, and it created that...
Like, I don't think he's been watching since Nakarog. I think he probably has in his notes of, like, when they did this challenge before.
focus issue we were going for, and we think it worked really well. So does Ben.
Watching Charlie's face, I was just waiting to replay that ball, man.
I know.
I could feel that pain. All right, so Ben wins. Rock and roll! And then he's got this huge decision to make, which is who to send to Fire D. You have sat in that seat before. How do you feel about Ben's approach to this decision, and how do you go about making yours?
Thankfully, I have sat in that seat because I think it's the most important one at the end of the game. You have absolute power, of course, heading in. But in Ben's case, he wanted Liz gone, and no matter who was going against Liz, they would have beat her because she said herself she sucks at fire. So I think Ben made the right choice in sending Liz and Kenzie to fire.
I have a question. Philosophically, if you sit...
Did he? I mean, I guess, like, if you're, like, talking about, like, he should be sending... Like, if you're talking about from the perspective that he wants Liz out, I guess. But it's, like, also, he shouldn't want Liz out. But whatever.
See, and you know that there's somebody you can put in fire against you, and you know you can beat them. Do you take that risk and give up your final 3 spot to try to prove a little more?
That's a great question. I would only do that if I thought I didn't have a lot on my resume during the game. Because if I think I played a dominant game, why would I put myself in fire and risk $1 million for that one spark?
Well, it did end up with Liz getting sent home, losing in fire to Kenzie. So, Jeff, did you have any thoughts on Liz as she became our final jury member?
Yeah, well, we talked about Liz a lot. It was her daughter who encouraged her to apply while they were watching an episode. And we talked about this in the show. From my Zoom call with her, she told me, we have Survivor nights, my daughter and I, at Applebee's. So that was no hype. That was truly her story. But from my notes, what I wrote, she's gold. Never had anyone like her. Super quirky. An oddball in the best way. Another example of owning who you are, whatever package you come in. And I have to add personally that Liz took a lot of grief online for her outbursts, for not being able to eat, everything she struggled with. And she handled it so well, like a seasoned pro with social media. And it goes back to what I wrote about her in my first impression. Liz is comfortable owning who she is, whatever package she comes in. And that continues to define the new era. People being themselves and saying, it's okay to be weird. I'm weird too.
Love that.
All right, let's take a break, because I'm ready. I'm ready to talk to the final 3.
Yeah, so that's, again, just kind of nothing, I feel like. Again, praising her, but, like, not enough to, like, look at her as a likely returning.
Yo, well, I got on fire pot. And ultimately, Maria. So let's just talk about...
Okay.
All right, Ben, before we get into this, I want to start by saying congrats.
Anyway, Love God, Let Q host. I think it's 100% Tevin. Which, like, I've seen, like, people, like, discuss online, like, who they think the On Fire podcast person's gonna be next season. And, like, when people are, like, talking about, like, who's gonna, like, if it's someone from 46, who would it be? I think it's so clearly Tevin. Like, unless they just go the winner again and pick Kenzie, which is not out of the realm possibility, like, I feel like Tevin's, like, by far the front runner. Like, I feel like Q is too, like, uncontrollable. So I feel like Q's gonna say, like, a lot of, like, kind of crazy things. To where, like, I feel like he's, like, not someone that you would want as a podcast host. But it's not giving advice as it's properly. It's showing the perspective of a player. Do you not understand the point of the On Fire podcast? Is to show the perspective from a audience member, a player, and a executive producer, I fucking guess. Final 4 all white. Wow. That's kind of sad, right? When you have, like, over 50% diversity, that, yeah, Final 4 were all white people. Actually, yeah, all merge boot. Well, jury. Yeah, was the jury all POC outside of Liz and Hunter, right? Yeah, I didn't even think about that either. 45 had a Cook Islands Final 4, and now this, yeah. Now we got a most of the other seasons Final 4.
Congratulations on making it to the final 3 and earning your way with that massive win.
Well, yeah, that's why I
just
include
This is what
Mariah.
I observed out there from the host role. You had that early alliance with the men on Sega. You ultimately pulled in Maria to get rid of Jem. Then later in the game, you helped form another, what really became a dominant alliance with Kenzie and Charlie and Liz. And then you took out Q and ultimately Maria. So let's just talk about your time on the show. And I want to start with what struck me more than anything. It was the panic attacks. You were out there experiencing these a lot. And we were always worried about you. But you were always the one that said, I'm good. I can handle this. So when you see him back on the show, I hope you're proud of how you handled them. But I'm curious, are they re-triggering?
Oh, we're already in the interviews? Did I just, like, skip through that? Fuck. Whatever.
Growth that came as a result.
Well, it's weird, right? I don't know how to frame it because they weren't traditional panic attacks. They weren't something that occurred
fuck
to me during the
me.
daytime. It was like I had this inability to sleep. I feel like my body was eating itself alive.
Okay, well, this
And
is,
don't
like,
get me wrong, the game
worst
was
case
getting to me,
scenario.
But it was something that I remember, like, every time the sun started coming down, I had this irrational fear of, okay, how am I going to survive the night? And I just wouldn't sleep. But there was no moment where I wasn't like, chill, run survival.
Like, this is literally the
And,
worst
I was
possible
never ashamed of it
encounter.
out there. I knew what I signed up for, obviously. Watching it back, I wouldn't say it's re-triggering. I mean, I've definitely come a long way from that. But I'm just glad that the response I'm seeing is that people are feeling less ashamed to talk about it. You know, I've been on tour, I've been at some events, and people are going out of their way to hit me up to tell me their life story or tell me their experience. I would just respond, there's no shame in feeling it. It's better to feel your emotions than suppress them, and just ride the wave. A panic attack is a momentary. You're going to get to the other end. The same way we got to the other end of the 26 days.
Ben, you're obviously the chief odds officer out there. As you said, you wake up and you're just like, crazy, time to start ripping. And that was super fun and inspiring to watch. And one of my favorite moments of the season was watching you do that battle with Charlie in terms of Metallica versus the season. And I heard and saw a little bit on the
What a
internet.
great
that there was a little bit of
moment.
follow-up with Metallica. Can you tell us what happened?
There was even follow-up.
Like, imagine someone, like, actually watches Survivor 46 and is like, you know what, my favorite moment of the season is the fucking song battle. Exactly why I watch Survivors, to fucking see a song battle between a Metallica fan and a fucking Taylor Swift fan. Alright. There we go.
It's been back and forth. My mom and I definitely baked cookies, and I sent the 4 dudes some records and some merch.
Wait a minute, Ben. Let's just take this moment.
Okay.
You said
Yeah, cool.
Metallica merch.
Hell yeah, dog.
Okay.
Listen, Lars would do the same. Never miss an opportunity. You know, it's like, what did Wayne Gretzky say? It was quoted by Michael Scott. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I also wrote
Yeah, I
a letter
never
to
played that
Metallica saying,
stuff.
obviously, my mental health is a big theme on this season of Survivor, but as a kid who was bullied and had trouble being the assertive person I've become, Metallica was like the first music I got that felt empowering. It was intense.
Imagine this does make the list. Imagine they do like a season 50 retrospective, and this actually does like make the list of best moments. Okay, well, okay, this is so lucky that I'm not dead right now. Wow, that is so
process
fucking
who I am
lucky.
to exercise my emotions. So I wrote them that letter, and they reached out, and they were on the guest list for their show in August in Boston.
Oh, I have no
Now, the
ammo
question,
now.
Ben, this might be the biggest question we asked on this podcast. Let's say instead of a 5-3 vote, it's a 4-4 vote.
Oh,
That
okay.
means we're tied, and you, having the least votes, would then become
So
the
is
last
this where
member
he
of the jury,
says
and you would cast the
you
final
vote
tie-breaking
for,
vote. Who would you have voted for, Charlie or
Charlie?
Kent?
Listen, Charlie was my day one. I play a loyal game. Charlie put in the work hard. You know,
Yeah, okay.
did I have a great bond with Kenzie? 100%. But I saw Charlie's entire journey. I saw the Secret Six not taken seriously, and I found him weaving his way into all sorts of different power alliances. I was with him in a ton of moves. I tend to think, going into that tribal, I knew I wasn't going to win, and that it could come to that decision. Charlie played, and he put a lot on the line, and he played with a heart that you don't see in a lot of seasons of Survivor. He reminds me of Spencer in a way. And Charlie never brutally stabbed anybody in the back. He was very forthright. He kept his emotions in control, which we know I couldn't do. I think in that lens, I would have voted for Charlie.
So this season really came down to Maria not voting for Charlie is number one. Had she voted for Charlie, you would have been the deciding vote, and Charlie would be the winner of Survivor 46.
Yeah,
fuck
I do
off.
believe that's where my head would have been at.
Ben, you were awesome on the show. You know how much I enjoyed you. The back and forth we had out there, you gave me an opportunity to have fun. Your energy was infectious, and really enjoyed watching you play Survivor. Congratulations on getting all the way to the end, and thanks for being a part of the Survivor family. We look forward to seeing you and talking to you again.
But like, give a closing word to anybody who's watching the season. It's such a thrill ride to go on Survivor, to go against everything you're conditioned into doing, and especially when you have the elements attacking you, sleeping on dirt, having night terrors. You never know what you're capable of. I still put a smile on. I still had a good time, even at my lowest, and I don't regret rocking the way I did.
We were on Survivor.
Yeah, I can't ask more than that, Ben. All right, I love
Yeah.
Ben. He is consistent. That is the same guy that I met on Zoom, same guy that he was out there every day of 26 days that he was just then. All right, we are now joined by Charlie. How's it going, Charlie?
It's
Oh,
going
thank
well. It's
God.
going well. A bit of a wild week, a roller coaster of emotions. Really high
Actually, when
highs, really
did
lows.
you,
But,
actually,
ultimately just
when they do these interviews, I just realized this. Like, when were these? Okay, that was actually really good. If I didn't miss that one shot, because so is Jeff on location for 47 during this? Probably, right? Because this has to be like somewhat recently. So, like, I assume Jeff has to be on location when filming this, right? Anyway.
incredible ride. This whole spring has been. So I'm really happy to be here. It feels like such a full circle moment from.
Yeah. Ben was voting Charlie in tiebreaker, which again I don't think is that shocking considering he obviously takes Charlie at 4. Which obviously I think that is a big pro for Charlie. And like assessing his game there, while he was essentially one vote away from winning the game.
Finding you in my little law school apartment and now doing a final 3 interview with On Fire with Jeff Probst. So it's really, really awesome.
All right, so let's get into it. Congratulations on playing a tremendous game of Survivor.
Thank you guys. That means a lot to hear. So thank you.
You can't get closer than a 5-3 vote, 1 vote away from a tie. So let's start with what I think is probably the single biggest moment of the season. Maria does not vote for you. And we talked about this in the after show, and you were incredibly gracious about, even in the midst of your own turmoil, saying, look, Kenzie won. So let's be clear, the jury got it right. But what were you thinking just personally that you didn't want to share then, that you didn't think it might be appropriate about not getting Maria's vote?
Yeah, I think I know a little bit now what it's like when a sports team loses Game 7 on a buzzer beater, and then they have to go sit out and do their press interviews.
Oh my God,
and,
this is terrible.
they're heartbroken, but they have to answer the questions. And, I stand by everything I said in the after show, absolutely, to your point. But all those same feelings are bubbling up. It's like, it's just so many emotions, and a lot of them are really, it's devastation and anger and confusion. There are a lot of negative emotions, and I'm proud of myself for keeping my composure, and I stand by everything, but it's brutal. It sucked to learn that at the after show that, someone I played the entire game with,
Yeah, that
game
probably
so
hadn't
well,
mentioned,
and
right?
the last thing
I feel like it
said
has
was
to
that she
be
was voting for me to win the game,
post
and so if
that,
there was one vote I
right?
was counting on
Post her
at final tribal council, it was
when
Maria.
she's
So
pregnant.
does it feel wrong, or is it surprising?
That's such a hard question. It does feel wrong to me, but then there's the equal parts side of me. It's like, what? I don't control Maria. Maria is not beholden to me, and she voted the way she voted, and the circumstances of how it happened are really upsetting and hard for me to digest and process. But at the same time, they may make perfect sense to Maria, and who am I to tell her that how she thinks about the game is wrong? That's what makes Survivor so complicated. I mean, I'm trying not to beat myself up. I said my number one to the jury, saying that she was going to vote for me.
whatever.
I don't know what more
Okay.
I could have done to earn her vote. I'm proud of how I did at Final Tribal Council. I thought I explained my game well, but whatever it was wasn't quite enough. Or Kenzie did a little bit more at Final Tribal than me, and it really sucks to have someone you thought you were depending on as not only a vote, but someone to be an advocate for you on the jury to not vote for you at all is really, really brutal.
Well, I gotta say, I was there, and I watched Final Tribal, and it was a battle, and I felt it as I was watching it, kind of like watching a heavyweight boxing match. It really did feel like, oh, Charlie scored a point there. Oh, wait a minute, Kenzie scored a point there.
Yeah.
And it was back and forth. I wasn't sure either when I went to get the votes, because I have no idea. Things change out there all the time. But as you said, it really came down to this dilemma you have in the game where you have to find a number one. Ultimately, you have to make a decision. Do I risk going with my number one? So this is a hindsight question, but if you could change history, would you do anything differently now that you know the outcome?
Yeah, it's a tough question
Fuck
because
off.
it's like the butterfly effect, right? You change one thing, and maybe I don't even end up at Final Tribal Council. I change one decision I make in the
Like
game.
that.
But
That's
of course,
what like him
any
like
good
really
losing
wanting to
player aspect-
fucking like use the term change history, which if you don't know is the official name of the hourglass twist. But yeah, like fuck off, Jeff.
Countless sleepless nights thinking about what I could have done differently. It's inevitable. It just comes with the emotional investment that, we have with the show. I executed a plan to get to the end, but
Fuck off.
if I look back, and especially in the end game, if I could have potentially taken a shot at Maria
Oh,
earlier
fuck off.
and really put all of my cards out on the table, and my game was playing both sides, playing the middle, keeping options open. If I had really just went for it and said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blindside the heck out of Maria, maybe even at the Venus vote, and I go into an unknown at this point. That's a different season, and play a little bit of a catch me if you can game, try to win out some challenges or come up with some new strategies to get to the end. Ultimately, I went down the path that I went because I thought it was the most certain and the really effective way to get to the end. But sometimes you have to take a big swing.
Yeah, Charlie, as a fan, I'm listening to you sort of give me this walkthrough of what you could have done, and I'm sitting here saying, well, that's not who Charlie is. Do you feel like that's true for you too?
It's not really easy to betray someone who you've been working so closely with and getting to know so closely and relying on for all your basic needs and whatever, the physical, emotional, whatever it is. So it's hard to envision myself taking that earlier swing. But at the same time, it sometimes feels out there on Survivor like there's almost two people playing, within you. One that knows exactly what the correct ideal game move is, and one is like, wait, but that's my friend.
Yeah, Charlie, it's funny you say that because I battled with the same thing with Judy and Austin. I went back and forth with, should I vote them out, should I not? You're going back and forth with your morals.
AKA
and I want to know, was there ever a point in time where you thought to
ever.
yourself, if I do vote them out, would they not want to be my friend afterwards?
Oh,
That definitely
fuck
crosses
off.
your mind. You become so close. And I know a lot of fans say, they're only out there for 26 days, how could they possibly
She
be this emotionally
definitely cared
invested?
about her
But
friendship
you don't know until you
with
play.
Austin
And the reality is
after.
that you do get that close with these people, and they see you at your best, your worst, your most broken down, and you do want to continue these relationships.
Oh, fuck
as I'm finding out,
off,
it's really
really?
complicated. And
Okay.
That's what I'm finding now is all the decisions in the game have a huge impact on your friendships.
Charlie, have you spoken with Maria?
I have spoken with Maria. I stand by everything I said. She's an amazing person, really, really impressive woman, amazing mother,
All right,
has an amazing
I'm
career
fucked.
while doing an incredible job raising her family. But I'm a Survivor super fan, so I'll call back to a moment in Survivor
Yeah.
17 where I know Steven was
Fine.
talking about JT bringing him into the final two from the final three, and he said, if he doesn't bring me, I don't know if our friendship would be the same. This is what we set out to do. And I would be lying to you if I would say that Maria not casting a vote for me at the end to win doesn't add a real complicating wrench into our friendship. And that's just the nature of the game and how emotionally invested and how important it is to me and how much I gave blood, sweat, and tears to get to where I did in the game. And then to have my closest friends ultimately not vote for me is a tough one to swallow.
Can I just ask you a hypothetical question following up on that?
Yeah, sure.
In the world where you're on the jury and Maria's in the final three, your vote goes to?
Well, yeah, 100%. I do feel for Charlie as well. I think it's a situation where, yeah, again, like obviously, like he saw Maria seemingly take it well and did think that they were gonna, again, like he constantly talks about how like he's essentially gonna be like nephew to her kids and everything, and then yeah, again, she doesn't even vote for him at the end. Charlie comes back. He has a strong story. Probably, I guess. Probably. Realistically, yeah. I think he does.
It's a great question. I'm going to do my best to put myself in the shoes of Charlie, who has been voted out of Survivor and is on the jury bench, and not Charlie, who is many months removed from the game and who saw Maria not vote for him. And the answer is yes, I would have voted for Maria. I respected her game, and especially if she was able to get to the end with everything I was putting in place to try to take her out, I would have respected it that much more, and I would have given her the $1 million vote, of course, and she would have deserved it.
Well, let's add a little more context to the importance of one vote, Maria's vote, because we talked with Ben earlier, and we threw out a hypothetical. Had Maria voted for Charlie, now we have a 4-4 tie. That would mean Ben, who had the fewest votes, would become the final member of the jury. We asked him who he would have voted for to win Survivor 46, and it was you, Charlie.
Yeah. Like, does that make me feel good or bad? I don't know. I don't know, because guess what? That's a timeline that doesn't even exist.
Charlie, I'm really struck by how practical you are in looking at this, because we've asked you a lot of questions, and every time you come back and say, look,
how far from the bottom am I? Yesterday's run, I died at the very beginning, so I'm literally what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have the 14th worst run out of 5,769. That's really funny.
that's not what happened. It's not possible. I think that's a really telling part of your personality and why you were able to do so well in this game is that you're forced to do that several times a day, sometimes several times in an hour.
Several. I think I won last day.
Oh, thank God we got a
I really mean it
Zelensky
even now, the way
reference.
you continue to handle this with grace. Even though right now there are people saying, I think Charlie should have won. And we're going to ask Kenzie about that as well, if she's prepared for the controversy that will come with people saying that. Dee went through it. Dee had controversy on her season.
Yep, I did.
That comes with it. So as we sit here now, you've seen the finale, you've seen the after show, we've talked about it all. What was the Survivor experience for you?
Man, it was everything. I mean that word in the most
It's like
complex way.
100%. Like, I mean, like looking at like how this season plays out. If this was like Jeff 10 seasons ago, maybe like 15ish seasons ago. Actually, when was Ko-Rong? Ko-Rong was 14 seasons ago. Like Jeff would be pissed, right? Like Jeff definitely would not be happy at a Kenzie win. Like he would definitely, I think, be. I don't know if he would be like a big Charlie guy either, but like, I definitely don't think he would be happy at a Kenzie win at the end. Um, so again, I think that's what's interesting about like modern Jeff. To where again, it'll be interesting to see how he talks with Kenzie, talks about her game. Um, but GameBots versus Normies season.
Awesome. It was every
Isn't
emotion
that like
at its
every
most
season?
extreme. It was just the highest highs of pulling off crazy blind sides and getting all the way to the end of the game, getting to a point where I lost by 1 vote, and it was my number 1 who didn't vote for me. It just illustrates how, you can feel two things so strongly at once, and never in my life has something tortured me in the best way like Survivor. Wow, gosh, will I ever get over what happened at the end and not chase down these rabbit holes and what ifs. It's just so complex, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's the most amazing game, and I'm just...
What if Charlie made up a story about him being like super poor and all that sort of stuff? I wonder if he would have won then. That would have been funny, right? Like, would he have gotten Q's vote? Because Q says that he changed his vote, right? At Final Tribal. Yeah. Better, worse than Dominic? I think Dominic's better. I think Dominic had a lot more like overt control throughout more of the game. And then also like had 5 jury votes locked coming into Final Tribal. So yeah, I think he's better, but again, Charlie's also very strong. I think obviously Charlie is one of the better more ups. I think Jeff does respect the social game now more than he ever did. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's like, I don't know if he does. I'm not sure actually. I think it's kind of a complex thing because like he is still in this thing of like, oh, you need to make big moves and that sort of thing. I think the difference is that I think he's more connected to the people on the show. And I think that might play more of a factor to where I think he would be more like, I think he would feel like he feels more connected to someone like Kenzie than he does with Michelle. Where here he's like so personally involved in the casting of these people, where like with Co Wrong, while he was like involved in like finals casting and stuff, he wasn't like on hand at all times with casting. To where like I feel like he feels more connected to new era people, and I think that might play a factor. Um, I don't know if that did have an impact of like Michelle defenders and everything. If I were to guess, I don't think he cares about those people. Who said they changed their vote? A lot of people, right? Yeah. Q, Maria, Venus, Hunter, Liz. Which is like all over the board. So that means Q was going to vote Charlie, switch to Kenzie. Maria was going to vote Charlie, switch to Kenzie. Yeah, according to this. Venus was going to vote Charlie, switch to Kenzie. But then Hunter was going to vote Kenzie, switch to Charlie. Liz was going to vote Kenzie, switch to Charlie. Yeah, so Charlie lost 3 jury votes according to this, and Kenzie lost 2. Did Maria not raise her hand? I know it's 5. Either way, I know it's 5 people. Okay, who was the other person then? Because he did say it was 5 people. Oh, was it? No, Tevin wasn't one of them, right? At least Tevin said he was so close to changing his vote, but then didn't. Was Soda one of them? Alright, Tiff, Tevin, Soda were firm. So Maria has to be one of the other ones, right? Yeah, so it must be Maria. Like if Tiff, Tevin, Soda were the 3 that didn't raise their hands, then yeah, Maria has to be, because that would be if 5 jurors is all but 3. Oh yeah, fuck, it's past 3. Okay, yeah. Let's actually look it up then. Which fuck me, it's past 3 a.m. But yeah, I'll probably end up again. We'll look this up, and then I'll probably also finish the On Fire podcast, and then we'll probably call it a night. Okay, load please. Oh, thank you. I got a fucking All Stars 4 commercial. Alright, well, where is this? Definitely later, right?
It was a surprise, you know, one of the then a 5-3 without it being a tie. I'm not surprised by Channel Tribal.
Oh, here. Oh no, Soda did raise her hand.
Who changed their vote tonight?
Okay, it's Q, Hunter, Liz, Soda, Venus. See, Maria did not raise her hand. Tevin didn't raise his hand. Tiffany didn't raise his hand or her hand. Yeah, so it's Soda, not Maria. See, Maria again. So that means that she was always voting Kenzie. Charles because of his final tribal. Kind of. I mean, that just would make it a 4-4, right? Which I guess, yeah, so Ben would vote for him. So I guess, but really, in an ideal world, he would just have a better jury prospect to begin with. Yeah, so... Wait, actually, no, wait, no, that changes it, doesn't it? Wait. So, no, Kenzie had that lead then, didn't she? Yeah, so it's only Q and Venus that were voting Charlie. So Charlie only gained... No, wait. Oh my god, dude, this is so confusing. Wait, so Charlie... Wait, no, so wait, all the Charlie votes switched. Wait, so all the votes that Charlie actually got were ones that switched at the last second, while Venus and Q were originally going to vote Charlie? So it would have been 6-2, actually, then, right? If that's the case. So Kenzie would have won 6-2 originally? But then through everything changing, it becomes 5-2? Or 5-3? Yeah, it would have been... So it would have been Tevin, Maria, Tiffany, Hunter, Liz, Soda voting Kenzie. Which again, that makes it worse, I think, for Kenzie. But either way, where are we at the podcast? 18 minutes.
I can get out there and play it. Well, Charlie, you just described why Survivor is so appealing and so intoxicating to play because the stakes are so high. There is no other show like Survivor. I thank you for choosing Survivor to go have this life experience because you've made the family of Survivor better. You played as good a game as you can play and not win. There's no other way to say it. And I really am grateful you were on the show. Charlie, thank you. And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. This has been awesome.
All right, there's only one person left to talk to, and that is the winner of Survivor 46. Kenzie, we have a lot to talk to her about, including a personal update. We'll take one more break and we'll come back.
Oh, okay. She's going to talk about being pregnant.
We'll never know, but I still talk like this. It's so back to On Fire.
Oh, is there no ad here? Okay, that's very
Very excited to bring you the first interview with the winner of Survivor 46. How good is it feel to hear that? Kenzie, welcome.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jay. Hi, Dee. Hi. Hello. Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that in since it happened. It's been a long time.
Well, congratulations, because as Dee knows, and Jay and I will never know, but I still talk like this. It's so difficult to win Survivor. It requires so many skills and so much adaptation and perseverance and resilience, and you did it. You played a tremendous game. You never
overall,
Kenzie
lost.
After loss. You kept your focus on
it was a net
and looking for opportunity. I think we should
-1,
also
right?
announce that not only did you win Survivor, you came home, you got married because you had delayed that for us, and the biggest news, go ahead and make the announcement.
I'm having a baby boy. I'm
Congratulations.
Thank you all so much.
So with that whole life change happening, I thought your answer to Q's question, leave it to Q to make a turning point, about I want to know what you're going to do with the money. That's a precarious question. And a lot of players feel like they need to say, well, I'm going to help my family, I'm going to give to a charity. You were very upfront about saying, this is for me. It's selfish time for Kenzie. And I'm just wondering how confident you were.
Considering he'll never play Celeb Survivor.
That answer, I was very upfront about it, even in the game. Like, people were like, what are you here for? And these people had these, like, wonderful...
Yeah, actually, yeah. So does that mean that's before or after, actually? I don't think that gives us, like, that solidified of an answer, does it? Because, like, she just announced that she's having a baby boy, but, like, does that mean that she already previously announced that she was pregnant, and now that she's... I don't know, that's kind of a weird... Better name her kid, Contavious, obviously.
There's things that they were there for and things they wanted to represent, and I was like, well, I'm here for money, and like, of course, you know, did it feel selfish? Yeah, but I was there for selfish reasons, and I was authentic to that the whole time. I knew I wanted to come home and start a family, and I knew this would give me an opportunity to be able to do that.
Dee, you and I talked about this a lot on this season of the podcast, that the new era jury, everybody has their own criteria. Did this surprise you that an answer like that could be...
What the fuck does that mean? Like, all juries have always had their own criteria. What does this mean that, that's something different about new era juries?
No, it actually didn't. And I'm always going to say it depends on the person it's coming from. I felt the authenticity from my end. So I think the jury felt the authenticity from your end. It did not surprise me at all.
Yeah, I think with 46, like, what the only way to get ahead and, like, to have people understand you and meet you where you're at was to be very upfront and authentic, especially at Final Tribal. Like, they're like, we just want the truth. Like, give it to us straight. And 46, they can handle it. They can handle a straight answer.
Well, and I love hearing this from the producer point of view because it's what we try to drill into the players is to give somebody who comes out here to play Survivor permission to be yourself because it is the only way to play. So when you get to that final vote and I come up with the parchment, did you anticipate that kind of a vote, a 5-3?
But also, really funny how many times Carolyn got mentioned in the after show. So again, just 1,000,000,000% lock her in for 50. What do you think they were voting for the last 45 seasons? I mean, again, they had this set criteria. Now they vote for whoever they want, I guess.
Charlie played an amazing game. I anticipated a close vote for sure. And as soon as Final Tribal started, I was like, I'm losing it. I thought I had it. And Charlie is doing so good. I didn't know how good he was playing. He had bamboozled me. And I thought I had a good read on everything. I was like, I can't believe I thought sitting next to him was a shoo-in. He's killing it. So I knew that Charlie was really doing a great job at Final Tribal. And I vastly underestimated how much Final Tribal weighs with the jury. Like, I thought I was just going to waltz in. It was going to be like kind of chill, charming. It's a lot more intense once you get there.
Take us inside the moment when you realize this is going to be a fight. What happens in terms of your strategy of how you approach the jury?
Oh, I have to turn it up and turn it up now. There's no tomorrow. It is right now. And Charlie was coming to fight, so I was like, I'm fighting harder. I didn't fight from Yanu, day one, moment one, all through all of that mess and drama and tough nights and losses and no fire to let someone sweep it out underneath me at Final Tribal.
So, Kenzie, are you now looking at the jury, and while Charlie's answering or Ben is answering, are you assessing, I think I have their vote, I'm not sure about this person, and do you start targeting your answers with that in mind?
I think you have to be aware of who you're talking to and who you could win or lose over with anything and everything you say. So it's a constant, I'm trying to please 8 people.
I feel like I'm getting nothing from this
Everybody's got different criteria that they're voting with. And you have to know the people that you've gotten to know and kind of bend your answers to who you're trying to either win over or keep on your side.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely attest to that. I remember doing my Final Tribal. There was a moment where I realized, oh my God, I'm going to win. And Jeff just asked you, where was the moment that you knew you had to fight? But I'm going to pivot and ask, when was the moment that you knew, oh my God, I might win this? Did that ever happen to you?
That happened to me at the money answer, actually. Because I heard Ben and I heard Charlie's, and I was like, theirs are so good. Like, they're going to do all these amazing things with money. And I was like, I'm just going to answer it with my heart.
Wow.
And Q, like, nodded. And I was like, I got his respect. I know it. At that moment, I was like, if I can get
Trying
Q,
no lost votes. Yeah.
All right, Kenzie, we talked with Ben earlier.
Yes.
And we put the situation to him. Had it been a 4-4 tie, Ben, because he had the fewest votes, would become the final jury member, and he would break the tie. What do you think he said in answer to the question who he would have voted for to win the game had it been a tie?
I really have no idea, and I think it's really unfair to put him in that spot because he never had to be in that spot, so he shouldn't have to drive himself crazy with the hypotheticals of what he said.
Yes,
Charlie and him were
it
together
drives
day
him
one,
crazy,
and I held his hand every
obviously.
night while he had anxiety attacks. So either way, it would have been a justifiable pick. I mean, I think he should have picked me. Duh.
Well, look, we can't hide from these questions because people are going to ask that.
Right.
Ben said he would have chosen Charlie.
Yeah.
And I think for the reasons you just said, I mean, that early alliance. But what I think it speaks to is why you have to kill when you have the opportunity. And you did. In that final tribal, you said, oh, hey, this isn't going to be as easy as I thought. And you kicked in the next gear and you took that game. And Charlie was very clear in the after show and saying, she deserves it. She got it. She won it. The jury's not wrong. But I do think it's interesting just from a game standpoint. One vote.
Yeah.
One vote is what decided this season.
Yeah. And really, I feel a lot of it was down to Q and Maria. When Maria voted for me, I couldn't believe it. My jaw hit the floor. I was like, I really did kill it. Like, I did it.
Have you had a chance to talk to Maria?
Oh, yeah. We caught up. Maria and I bonded a lot out there, and post-game, Maria's wonderful.
And what did she tell you in terms of why she voted for you?
Maria has talked a lot about things that I did right. It wasn't like what Charlie did wrong, because Charlie did a lot of things right as well. She was just like, I saw myself in you, and I believed in you, and you won me over. You won me over with the fire. That's what she told me right after. She was like, when you made that fire, I felt that so deeply, and I just knew that you would do anything to win, and I just really resonated with that. And yeah, I'm so grateful for everyone that voted for me, even the people who didn't. I wouldn't.
Wait. So are we saying that Maria is like voting for Kenzie because like, Kenzie sucks so bad at the fire to begin with and like persevered through that? That's why? Is that really what like Maria's justification is essentially? It's like she's essentially saying, "Oh my God, you suck so bad." Like, oh my God, the fact that you got through that. Yeah, that's
everyone was a part of it.
Funny.
I'm so grateful for the whole season. I think it's been amazing. Such a fun ride. Like, everyone played such a lovely part in it, and I'm just so grateful.
Well, Kenzie, I just want to say on behalf of the show that you are an amazing winner, a great representative. You played an incredible game starting in one of the biggest holes that we've ever seen any tribe have to try to climb out of all the way to the end.
Good praise.
And you kept that smile. I mean, from the moment in that early interview when you shared what it was like to be down and you were emotional and it was early and then you still had the sense of humor to say, are my eyes blue? Because it's one of the really good things about crying. But that's the charm that we saw throughout. And I think what I'm remembering and talking to you right now is that you never pushed one way or the other. You were Kenzie throughout. So I'm very, very happy to have you as one of only 44 people out of nearly 700 to ever win Survivor. And I think before we let you go, you're in a very rare air now, the Survivor Winners Club. And I think, D, do you have any wisdom? Because you are the only two on this podcast that know what this is like. What do you say to Kenzie? Because she has this big crown now that she wears.
Well, Jeff, I wouldn't really say wisdom. It's only been like 5 months, but I appreciate it. But one thing I know to be true, Kenzie, there will be people that love you, there will be people that don't love you, and that's not your problem. So focus on your family. You deserve this win, and go enjoy it.
Thank you so much, Dee. I appreciate it, girlfriend.
Kenzie, on behalf of the entire Survivor team, we wish you and your family the best. We thank you for becoming a part now of our Survivor family, and look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks for joining
Thank
us.
you all so much. This was wonderful.
There she is, the winner of Survivor 46, Kenzie, with a baby on the way. Oh, that was fun. I hate to put this season to rest. I really enjoyed it. I want to thank all 18 players from Survivor 46. Jelinsky got us off to a fun start in episode 1, and then Kenzie and Charlie Charlie, Ben, Liz, and Maria brought it home in the finale. And I'm just going to brag for a minute and say, look, Survivor's the gold standard when it comes to casting. We spend a lot of time, a lot of money. We have a nuanced approach to finding people like Dee. We take a lot of pride in it. It's not lost on me that every other show in the genre tries to poach Survivor players as soon as they can. Just know we understand, and we take a lot of pride that we find people who want an
Wait, was that a shot at Australian Survivor? I guess it maybe was a shot at, like, Traders and Challenge. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, so pity vote, yeah, pretty much. Reason's so bad, I feel like she's a bit. Yeah, I think I'm kind of leaning towards that. I think at least that's part of it. I think there is some, like, respect for, like, okay, Kenzie beat me in the challenge again, whatever determination, which is like a big thing for Maria. But yeah, I could also see the Charlie burning her being a factor too. All right, yeah.
That's what Survivor offers. So to anyone who's thinking about applying or has applied, we appreciate you. And hopefully one day you'll end up on the show and you can experience what Charlie and Ben and Kenzie and Dee have experienced.
Well, I think you're living up to your promise, Jeff. I mean, you've said that at least the next 3 seasons are all new player seasons.
Yep.
You also said, and you haven't spoken to me about it all, so I just wanted to bring it up, that Survivor 50 is going to be a returning player season.
That is true.
So anything else you want to say to me and the rest of all of our millions of fans who are listening?
Well, what's funny about that is it was sort of decided on the spot during this
Shut
Q&A
the fuck up.
And it does feel right, and I'm very excited about it. Everyone on our team is excited that Survivor 50 will have returning players. We want to make it a really fun season. But we have to go produce 47 and 48 and 49, and then we'll get to 50. But I promise you, when we get to 50, it will be everything we have in our tank to make it a fun celebration of 25 years and 50 seasons. That's what we're going to endeavor to do.
I'll take that for now, but next season we should do a little bit more.
Okay, now to the hardest part of ending this season of On Fire. Because as part of
Yeah,
our format,
fuck
we
you,
decided
Dee.
that we're going to have a new player each season because we want new perspectives. It was very hard to say goodbye to Devins. It's very hard to say goodbye to you, Dee. I've been complimenting you the entire time, and none of that was false. It was all real. You went from a player joining us as a co-host to really a third producer, and Jay and I talked about that a lot. You've been phenomenal to work with. How has this been for you?
Well, as you can see, I'm tearing up. It's been a great gift. I knew I would grow from this experience. I didn't think I would grow this much. And I wanted to say thank you, and thank you, Jay. Like, working together has been awesome. Yeah, it's a gift.
What did you learn?
Man, I learned to trust myself more and to, like, be more me and not care what people think. Because I think going in, I thought to myself, oh my God, there's so many people that are going to listen to this podcast. And I cared a little bit about what they thought. And
What
it
are we
wasn't until,
doing?
like, I sat down with you
Wait. What are we doing? This is not fucking Survivor. Why are we fucking, like, talking about, like, what did Dee learn through this experience of being a fucking podcast host? What are we doing?
Screw it. I don't care what they think. Like, this is what I brought to Survivor. This is my take. You can agree with it or not, and it's okay if you disagree. Like, let's battle. Like, I want to hear what you have to say, right? So I think the most important
Yes,
thing is to, like,
Dee's definitely battling the
Yeah, I just wanna say,
fans.
getting to go through the last season of Survivor with you.
Also,
I
if she
learned
is
firsthand
battling the fans, I feel like that's not the thing she's battling fans for, right? I feel like there's other things that she'll be fighting with fans over her opinions on the On Fire podcast.
Every single person in Survivor 45 obviously learned throughout that season, which is that you are an extraordinary human being. You are impossible not to love from the moment that we meet you. And truly, as a partner in the show and as a human being, I think you are incredible, and it has been such a joy to have you on this season with us, and you will be very missed.
Thanks, Jay.
The only thing I question with Dee is she gave away so much insight into her game.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, my thing is, if I helped one future player or, like, a super fan that's listening, I did my job right. So I'm very happy.
Well, as one door is closing, as my friend Jeff Probst likes to say, another is opening. So stay tuned for the big reveal of who will be the new co-host of season 4 of On Fire with Jeff Probst.
Wait, to be clear, you just made it sound like we know. We actually do not know.
No, we have no idea. I'm saying stay tuned for that decision. And if you have an idea, you should leave us a review and write it to us because we are open to suggestions.
Let's do that. Let's put it in the hands of the fans and let fans weigh in on who's
You
going to
come
follow
for
Dee.
a growth arc?
Good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, well, that's it for this season of On
Actually,
Fire
I guess I'll
Survivor
listen to the
47.
outro.
Here in September. In the meantime, if you need your Survivor fix, good news is you can hit Paramount Plus where you can binge every season of Survivor. You can go cherry pick your favorite moments. You can even go back to season 1 and have a field day just making fun of me. All right, and if you're enjoying On Fire, take 30 seconds and leave us a review. Thank you for listening. Dee, thank you. Jay, thank you. Survivor fans, thank you. We will see you in September.
On Fire with Jeff Probst, the official Survivor podcast, is a production of CBS Entertainment and the Paramount Global Podcast Group, hosted and executive produced.
Okay, I think we're good. All right, yeah. I mean, really not much production insight at all there, outside of, like, just Jeff talking about his opinions of the players. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of whatever podcast. Fans made 50 returning season, obviously, yeah. Victoria for Survivor 48, why not? She has to think Charlie was riding her coattails and deserves a spot. Yeah, I think that's also, yeah. I think, yeah, that's the sense that I get, is that Maria thinks that, that she did the legwork, in getting them through the game. Hope Asia's podcast, actually, that'd be funny, actually, that she's on the On Fire podcast. Would that, like, stop her from being able to be on RSVP, I wonder? Like, how's that work? Is there, like, an exclusivity deal with podcasts? Actually, how is that going to work in terms of, like, can Asia be on the Big Brother podcast and stuff? Because, like, she's going to be back in time for Big Brother. And, like, she's typically on the Big Brother podcast. That's kind of a weird thing. Also, like, I believe, like, she was missing from the Survivor draft this season because of this. But, like, why, though? Like, is there like a thing that like you can't be on podcasts during the casting process of Survivor? Like, that's very strange, right? Like maybe she was like maybe like specifically that just so happened to line up with when she was in casting finals or something. But that does seem like a strange aspect of it. Look, you just don't like Maria. I don't mind her. Like I think there definitely is some ego stuff there. Um, I don't like. I have nothing like truly negative to say about her as a person. It's like whatever. But like again, as a player on the show, I find her boring as fuck. Um, yeah, I already said that. Like yeah, I never noticed that Australian Survivor, but never really paid attention. I think I paid. I remember David was last in All Stars. I feel like that I remembered, but I didn't remember anyone else. John, the podcast so for you. I mean, depends on how far they get. They need to make it deep into the game like Tevin will when he's podcast host. I feel pretty confident though. I think 100% I'm betting Tevin. Like if we're doing like likelihood, I think Tevin 1, Kenzie 2, Charlie 3, I think would be my ranking of most likely to be podcast hosts. Next show I'll watch, I am not sure actually. I should watch the challenge spin-offs. I just don't actually feel like it though. So I don't know. I did finish. So I finished Gen V since last stream, and I got caught up on Quebec, on Traders Quebec, and I am almost caught up on Survivor Quebec. I think by next stream, I'm not sure. Like it's a weird spot because like normally I would be like watching at least up Lauren stuff, but she stopped watching Survivor. Will Neff, I don't believe, has started Survivor yet. Actually, I'll probably finish Laser's Hellblade playthrough. But I'll say that I might, yeah, maybe I'll start watching the Challenge spin-offs. I don't know. I feel like if I was her, I'd stop Survivor podcasting and prep a 50, maybe. Imagine someone turns down the podcast role because they're like, you know, I don't want to expose my game. Imagine like D gets targeted because of some advice she gave on on Fire. That'd be so funny if she's on 50 and gets taken out because of that. Jelinski's podcast hosts. That'd be fun. Do draft for next podcast host. I mean, yeah, maybe we should do that. When's the announcement gonna come? It's probably not for another like 3 months or so, right? It's probably not until like preseason of 47. Can't wait to find out how the podcast changed Kevin's life. Yeah. I mean, that's so stupid though. Like we actually got this question. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? Like she literally just fucking sat down to record a podcast for an hour a week. Yeah, D talked about Q on the podcast. Big mistake, obviously. 100%. Q is gonna say big mistake like a billion times on Survivor 50, right? Like he's definitely gonna ham that up. I feel like. Yeah, 100%. We do need a big mistake emote. That is the plan whenever I bother to make emotes. I actually did like some prep of like trying to look up like Q faces. I don't know which one is like the best one to use because I feel like I need like a serious Q face. I think I can't use a goofy one for big mistake. It needs to be a serious Q face. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. I think he's unaware enough to keep trying to make Cancel Christmas happen. Yeah, I think he also will. Oh, too fair. It made it to like it was an episode title. Review should be on. Oh, for member, it'll probably be midday Friday. Like I'll probably record it, the remainder of it Thursday night. So I'll probably get up Friday and then just edit, and whenever it's done, it'll be up. Which I would assume probably around like 5 p.m. ish. That's too fair. I guess it'll probably be longer than like the BB Cannon Amazing Race review. So you never know. But I would say like midday Friday, And then player ranking will more than likely be at some point at night. If not, maybe bleeding into Saturday. But both of those videos should be out by midday Saturday for sure. Well, I mean, obviously the actual review will be out proper by noon on Saturday. But again, that one will be out on Friday. I think player rank will be out more likely Friday night, but if not, then Saturday morning. Then again, I have 3 more Survivor videos that'll be up probably by the end of the week, I would guess. And then straight after that, it might be a little bit of a break again, at least for a few weeks. Again, eventually the winner ranking will be up probably within a few weeks, and then probably a few weeks after that will be the season ranking. Or do I just make both at once? Maybe I'll just make both at once too. There's also a shot to do that. I don't know. We'll see. Love, Death, and Robots. Yeah, I forgot about that actually. I was definitely considering that. But then I just didn't get around to it. Just want to call him John because Jordan Fringe sucks. Like I think Jordan Fringe's Survivor just sucks, dude. Like straight, it's like the most like it just feels like he's fucking reading a wiki page the entire time. Like it feels almost as if he didn't fucking watch the actual season. As emote potential. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, like his buggy eyes and everything. I wish he had like a bit of a like grumpier expression, but yeah, that's actually a pretty decent one. Actually, where should I copy this link to? That'd make me remember about it. Or do I just save the? I guess I could just save the GIF. I'm a fucking idiot. Obviously, that would make more sense to do that. Still fighting for the Britney emote. Which one's the Britney? Oh, the reindeer games one. I hate all of them. It's like how do I fit that into one emote though? That's tough because it's just like so many words. Or like I hate all of them. So it's like 5 words. I guess you could kind of scrunch it at the bottom. But I don't know. I'm trying to think. When was the last time I even did emotes? That was what? Mid BB25, right? Because that's when Heisem was dancing. When I added that. Oh, is there anything from 45 to add? Or anything from BB Can? I think it's coming up, right? I think big mistake I'll definitely make, and then yeah, we'll see what else. Love that email, but we can go. I mean, I feel like other stuff would actually. I have open slots if I remember right. I don't know what those slots are, but I believe I do have open emote slots. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Corey too. I forgot about that one. Let's see. Where emote? I don't know where emotes are anymore. Oh, it's under viewer rewards, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I have no free slots open. Okay, I do have for subs. I have 5 animated emote slots. That's kind of insane. I don't realize I had that many, but then I have 1 regular emote slot. Yeah, so okay, that's all I have. So I have 5 animated and 1 regular. Izzy, I want to fuck them. I think I thought about that, but again, it's also just like too many words to make into like 1. Yeah, like yeah, Q can be an animated one. I forgot. Do I still have my? Oh, I have an emo. I forgot, but I have a thing of emo ideas, don't I? That's where I can put the link. Yeah, literally all that's on there right now is Big Mistake. That's the only one I still kept on there. Yeah, that's probably. I mean, like the Angry Jeff one. That was just like one of the original ones, right? Uh, Yeah, what else do I have? Like at this point, I feel like Sheehan's stupid players. I feel like that's like one that you could just replace with the big mistake one, right? Like technically, if I wanted to like fill up all these slots, like there's definitely, um, yeah, I could definitely open up more. It was like the like Kevin Jacobs. What are we doing? But also that's like a tier 2. No one's ever gonna fucking use that. Same thing with the tier 3 ones. Same thing with all the bit ones. So I guess like just keep them there as like placeholders because at the end of the day, like no one's gonna use them anyway. Um, I forgot about the Grodner eating cereal emo. I forgot about that until now. Banu emo. What was there to do with Banu though? What's this? What does the emo even mean though? Like, but I mean, like it's a funny image, but uh, or are we just saying just in general? Can I do that? Either way. I don't know who the other unanimous winners are offhand, but I do feel like Ferris is pretty good. Uh, should have had a Child of God emo. When the fuck is anyone going to use a Child of God emo? Actually, this would be a funny one, the Banu one there. Yeah, fucking Banu was an oracle. Fucking predicted the Kenzie win. But yeah, like going back through the season, doing the retrospect or doing the review and everything, it's so fucking obvious Kenzie was winning this season. Like it's actually like insultingly obvious to where like I feel like as anyone that like that analyzes the edit, if you did not think Kenzie was gonna win, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Um, where obviously like the big red flag was that she was so prominent, but like I still think like just taking consideration who the other competitors were, it's like no one else had a fucking shot. Um, oh, Venus's reaction after Liz. Oh yeah, that was a pretty good. Actually, I forgot about that. Um, yeah, the Liz being super confident, like the jury just being like what the fuck are you talking about? Like that was funny. Yeah, all right. I think we'll wind things down. Where are we at? We're at 4 fucking a.m. God damn it. Yeah, we're back on Sunday. Again, like I mean, was there really gonna be to talk about? I think there'll be what an episode of The Goat. Yeah, is that it? Okay, we'll see what I watch between now and then. I'll be working a lot on videos. Again, I'll have the 46 stuff done. I'll probably work on the All Stars 4 review still. Um, yeah, we'll see how all that goes. But yeah, off season for like a while, right? Like 2 months, pretty much. So, oh yeah, Quebec, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be what like 7 weeks or so until Big Brother starts. So, I don't know what the fuck to name the stream, the stream VODs, but I guess we'll see. I guess I'll just do postseason for a bit, but still. Anyway, yeah, we'll be back on Sunday. More Taos Principle, I guess. I guess I'll fucking do it. I don't know. I think I'll give it like one more stream, and then if I like make no progress in that stream, then I'm gonna like, okay, whatever. We'll probably do a draft, right? What are we gonna do? A through Z winners at war or something? Or I guess we could actually do the draft. Who's gonna be the next host of the On Fire podcast? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, Traders Cast is soon. Actually, by then we might also have the full 47 cast. So that might also be a thing. But oh yeah, several weeks. Yeah, straight up. Oh yeah, that's also a thing. I did say initially that I was gonna do the switching all the sevens to severals in the review and play ranking. I just couldn't do it. It just felt too fucking weird. I tried to do like now at number several. And it's just like it felt so fucking awkward. I'm not fucking doing it. But yeah, it would be a funny thing to actually keep in, but it just sounds ridiculous. Um, yeah, Traders draft. Yeah, we'll do Traders draft probably when we get the cast. 'Cause why not? Um, Yeah, all right. So yeah, we'll wrap things up here. We'll be back on Sunday. So see you then. Thank you for watching.